Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nishchita, and first up, applying brakes can also result in injuries. Take a look at the visuals on your screen. Well, this scene was witnessed in Raichur when a lorry driver applied brakes to avoid running over a biker. As a result, 3 buses which were right behind the lorry applied brakes, resulting in a minor accident. In this incident, at least 12 passengers in the bus were injured. Amongst the passengers who escaped unhurt were JDS MLA from Raichur, Shivraj Patil. And this is the bus that has been damaged thanks to the accident, and 12 passengers have been injured. In fact, many aged passengers who were on board the bus have suffered injuries and have been rushed to a nearby hospital. All this happened because there was no adequate distance between the vehicles that were plying on the roads. Time and again, in fact, the traffic police department as well as the concerned officials had suggested to drivers to maintain a safe distance between vehicles, but we have seen vehicles violating these rules numerous times, and that's exactly what has led to 12 people getting injured as the vehicles had to apply brakes at one go, considering that the lorry had to avoid running over a two-wheeler rider, and that's the reason why sudden brakes were applied, and 3 other buses that were behind had to apply sudden brakes as well, and 12 passengers have been injured due to the impact of the bus suddenly coming to a standstill. And with another accident that was reported today, 3 commuters hailing from Maharashtra were killed on the spot in Bidar's Humnabad after their Tavera turned turtle over a bridge. The deceased have been identified as Arvind, Sadashiv and Rajendra. Altogether, 6 people were inside the Tavera when the incident took place. The rest of the 3 passengers have been admitted to the district hospital. It is learned that the 6 members were returning from Hyderabad after attending a wedding. Of the 6 persons, 3 have been rushed to a nearby hospital, whereas 3 others have tragically lost their lives. In fact, gory scenes that were witnessed on the streets of Humnabad thanks to the horrific accident that took place, and we can see the mangled remains of the vehicle on our television screens that turned turtle over a bridge. The reason behind the accident is not known. Whether it is an infrastructure issue or whether the driver lost control of the bus is yet to be clarified, but unfortunately 3 lives that have been lost in the incident can never be retrieved, and hence the tragic nature of this accident remains. And with another shocking accident, a government bus rammed into a bike, killing 2 persons on the spot. The deceased have been identified as 22-year-old Shantu Patil and 23-year-old Shantinath Patil. The accident took place near Maragundi village in Athani. Following the accident, the driver has gone absconding and search operations are on to track him. Athani police have registered a complaint in this regard and investigations are underway. There we have it. This was yet another gory incident was reported today as a KSRTC bus rammed into a 2-wheeler, killing the 2 bike riders on the spot. The rider as well as the pillion rider, both of them were killed on the spot. We can see some gory accidents being reported from different parts of Karnataka, whereas in Humnabad, well, in fact, while on one hand, it was a KSRTC bus that rammed into a bike. The accident reported from Chikkodi, where 2 people lost their lives. The second incident reported from Humnabad, where a Tavera car turned turtle, injuring people on the spot, as well as killing 3 others. The 3 others injured have been rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, in Raichur, it was a serial accident that was reported because a lorry had to apply sudden brakes to avoid a 2-wheeler rider from getting run over. 3 other vehicles that had not maintained the adequate distance right behind him rammed into the lorry, and 12 passengers have been injured in the incident. Well, in the backdrop of the state BJP accusing the government of not proposing MLC candidates based on the criteria prescribed by the Constitution, a party delegation headed by former Chief Minister Jagadish Shettar met Governor H.R. Bharadwaj at the Raj Bhavan today. The BJP leaders requested the governor not to give assent to the state government's list of nominated MLCs. The leaders even asked the governor to reject the names of people with political background.
ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದಾವೆ. ಈಗ ಕಳೆದ 2 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ರಂಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಫಲತೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಆಡಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ವೈಫಲ್ಯ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಹದಗೆಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ರೈತರು ಕಬ್ಬು ಬೆಳೆಗಾರರು ಇವತ್ತು ಧರಣಿ ಸತ್ಯಾಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಕಬ್ಬು ಬೆಳೆಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಏನು ದರ ನಿಗದಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು 2650, ಇನ್ನೂ ನಮ್ಮ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಆ ಬೆಲೆ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಬೀದಿಗಿಳಿದು ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಹೋರಾತ್ರಿ ಧರಣಿ ಸತ್ಯಾಗ್ರಹ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಹದಗೆಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಶ್ರಯ ಮನೆಗೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಲಾಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಪಿಎಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೂವರೆಗೆ ಬಡವರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತು ಕುಡಿಯುವ ನೀರಿನ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕಡೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಳೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರಗಾಲ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ತಾಲೂಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಸಹಿತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬರಗಾಲ ಕಾಮಗಾರಿ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೈತರಿಗೂ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಏನು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಯೋಜನೆಗಳು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಣ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವಿಚಾರಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
And well, the BJP had stirred the hornet's nest by saying that the MLC candidates were merely politicians who were being nominated and not experts from the fields of art, culture, science, social service and the like. When the BJP was in power in the state, the governor had rejected V. Somana's candidature based on the fact that he was an active politician.
ನನ್ನ ನಾಮನಿರ್ದೇಶನವನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅವರು ತಿರಸ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಮೇಲ್ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದವರು ಮತ್ತು ವಿರೋಧ ಪಕ್ಷದ ನಾಯಕರಾಗಿದ್ದವರು, ಲೋಕಸಭಾ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಿದ್ದವರು, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಸಕ್ರಿಯವಾಗಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು, ನನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರ ಹೆಸರನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸೇರಿಸಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಏನು ತಾವು 2010ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಾವು ಸಂವಿಧಾನವನ್ನ ಎತ್ತಿಡಿತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅವತ್ತು ನನಗೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅನ್ನುವ ಮನವಿಯನ್ನ ಗಣತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಏನು ಹೋದ ಸಾರಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾನದಂಡ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಆ ಮಾನದಂಡವನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ ಅದು ಸಡಿಲಗೊಳಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಅವರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Well, in fact, meanwhile, the state government has forwarded the names of V.S. Ugrappa, Iqbal Ahmed Saradagi, Sandalwood actress Jaymala, Shantakumar and Abdul Jabbar to be nominated to the Legislative Council. R. Ashok, Somanna, Govind Kharjol were part of the BJP delegation that met the governor. Moving on now, former Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has claimed that he is not eyeing the post of the state president in Mysore. He further added that he would take up any responsibility bestowed upon him by his party.
Congress ಗೆದ್ದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಕೆಜೆಪಿ ಬಿಜೆಪಿಯ ಹಂಚಿಕೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ. ನಾನು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷಿತನಲ್ಲ, ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬ ಸಂಸತ್ ಸದಸ್ಯನಾಗಿ ಪಕ್ಷವನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸಿಕೊಡೇ ಗಮನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇನೇ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸಂಘಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಬಲಪಡಿಸೋ ಕಡೆ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಆ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ.
Well, in fact, let's not forget that Yediyurappa had come back to the party and has been credited for bringing back a good chunk of the voter population that had deserted the BJP during the assembly elections. And soon after the elections, in fact, Yediyurappa was also seen lobbying for a cabinet berth in Delhi. But it is said that Narendra Modi had advised him to look at the state affairs for now. And even as speculations did the rounds that Yediyurappa was eyeing the post of the Mysore BJP president. It is said that he has refuted all these speculations and has agreed to accept whatever comes his way. Well, in the backdrop of reports indicating that Preeti and Ness were trying to sort out the issue out of court, the actress landed at the Mumbai airport to re-record her statement. But reports indicate that Preeti Zinta will not record her statement today and might do it by Monday or Tuesday. She arrived from US via London on the British Airways flight. The police had called her to return to the city as her statement needed to be taken on her FIR against former boyfriend Ness Wadia, filed on the 13th of June at the Marine Drive police station. The venue to record the statement has not been finalized yet, but sources say that Preeti is unlikely to record her statement in a police station. Well, Preeti Zinta is back in India. She landed this noon after the police officials called her in to re-record her statement. Let's not forget that this comes in the backdrop of Preeti Zinta accusing her former boyfriend Neswadia of verbally abusing her and ill-treating her in the presence of many spectators during an IPL match. And Preeti Zinta has now gone on to Preeti Zinta will now be re-recording her statement by tomorrow or day after. Since the police officials were unable to find concrete evidence in the CCTV footage that was retrieved, considering that there was no footage of the angry exchange that took place between the two prominent persons, the police are heavily dependent on the version of the eyewitnesses as well as the statements recorded by the two persons involved. It is said that the two witnesses that Preeti Zinta had named have testified against Neswadia. Meanwhile, Neswadia has filed a counter complaint against Preeti Zinta as well. Neswadia's father, Musli Wadia, had also gone on to state that he had received messages from the underworld threatening them to not pursue the case against Preeti. Well, in fact, Preeti Zinta will now be re-recording her statement as the police wish to get the exact sequence of events, considering they do not have any CCTV footage or electronic evidence to support Preeti's case and are heavily dependent on the accounts of various eyewitnesses as well as Preeti and Nes themselves. Well, it is the third day of drama at Mumbai's Campacola Society as the Bruhan Mumbai Municipal Corporation officials will again reach the society compound to begin the eviction process. On Saturday, the BMC failed to evict residents of the 102 illegal flats that are to be demolished by the Supreme Court's order. The residents refused to let officials enter the compound. The municipal corporation has filed an FIR against the residents for unlawful assembly, wrongful restraint and obstructing civil servants in discharging their duty. Officials said that they will cut power and water supply to the unauthorized flat but will not use force. Meanwhile, the Campacola residents have written to the president and sought help from him. Well, the residents have been stationed at the gate for the last 3 days. Let's not forget that 20th of January was the last deadline given to them by the Supreme Court. There was no relief given to the residents, but the argument put forth by the residents of Campacola is that why is their apartment alone being targeted? And now that the BMC is allotting permission to build higher flats, why is it that they're not agreeing to take in the penalty and let go of these residents and let them live in the houses that they have been living for the last 3 years? The police had clearly stated, along with the BMC officials, that they will not be using force. The entire eviction drive will take in a phased manner. They will cut off the power lines as well as the water connections. Then the inside walls of the houses will be demolished, after which they will bring down all the illegal flats.